morning, everyone, and thank you to our class on gardening and oils. I'm here in beautiful, sunny Grays Lake, Illinois. Oh, I have a piece of fluff on my hat. A lot of that is blowing around in the air today on this beautiful June day. It's actually a little cool here today. It was very hot and humid yesterday, and then we had some rain come through, and now it's cool and it's beautiful. It's very nice. So here in Grays Lake, we are in zone 5. So for those of you who are also in zone 5, that means you probably put your plants, your seeds in the ground or started your plants, got those started around mid-May. And we'll probably start to see some growth in a couple more weeks. Some parts of the country maybe are already starting to see some fruits and vegetables grow on your plants, but here in Chicago, we have a very short growing season. And so I'm always looking for ways to get the most out of the time I have to garden. So some of you might be professional gardeners, you've done this for a while, or you might be just getting started, or maybe you just love your houseplants and you want to learn ways to care for them naturally and without harmful chemicals. Personally, I love gardening. My kids and I used to garden a lot when they were younger. In fact, one year we even got corn growing in our backyard, which was an amazing feat. My oldest son, is an amazing green thumb. And I remember in preschool when he put a bean in a bag with a paper towel and actually ended up with a bean plant that we were able to harvest at the end of the summer. So it's just such a fun activity for kids of all ages. And the last couple years with my kids getting older, we've been involved with sports, we've been doing college visits, we've been taking lots of family vacations in these couple years before my kids start to leave home. And so we haven't really spent a whole lot of time gardening. But this quarantine season, when we've been locked down and we've been in our home and we've been admiring more of the space around our house, has really gotten me thinking more about growing things sustainably, trying some new things, experimenting with some plants that I haven't grown before, and really cultivating my yard for the things that grow here annually. So in this class, for the next couple minutes, I'm going to cover a few topics. First of all, we're going to talk about a brief introduction into essential oils. Some of you are already fans of your essential oils, and I'm so excited that you're taking the time to learn how to use them in a new, unique way. Some of you maybe are only slightly acquainted with essential oils, and I would love to give you some practical tips for using oils around your home. And we're also going to talk about seed to seal, and that is a very important thing for Young Living. Young Living was founded by Gary Young 25 years ago, and we call him the pioneer of essential oils because truly he brought back the field of aromatherapy and the use of essential oils for therapeutic purposes. He is considered the pioneer of essential oils. So every essential oil company out there today that exists because of the research that Gary Young developed 25 years ago. And last but not least, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for taking care of plants this summer in your garden and things you can do for plants in your home, as well as to care for yourself as you take advantage of opportunities to garden this summer. So first of all, I'm going to go through some slides here and we're going to talk about what are essential oils. All right. Essential oils are chemical compounds that make up the lifeblood of a plant. We often refer to them as the immune system of the plant, but truly they are supplements for our body. There are so many oils that have constituents that can really help support our body and provide nutrients that we might be lacking that are so important for health and wellness. They actually are made up of leaves, bark, and the petals of plants. And we're able to use them through the process of distillation after harvesting. So the part of the plant with the beneficial chemicals, which could be those stems, the leaves, the barks, etc., is harvested and sent through a very meticulous distillation process. Every plant has a specific distillation time, and Young Living has over 25 years of experience in that art. After the plant is distilled, a concentrated oil is the result. It's potent and it's loaded with uncountable benefits for your overall health and wellness. Then it's bottled, shipped to you, and can be used topically, aromatically, or exclusive to Young Living, it can be used internally. And we have a complete line of oils called the Vitality oils that we can say can be ingested. The beneficial chemicals in these oils can be absorbed by your body and the plants in your garden. And they help to maintain overall health and wellness. Because they're so concentrated, just a little bit goes a long way. And that's why I love talking about ways that we can use them that maybe people hadn't considered. Now, I talked a little bit about seed to seal, and the truth is that there is no legal regulation of essential oils on the market today. That means when you go to a store and you pick up an essential oil, there's nothing to guarantee that it is pure. In fact, only 5% of the contents of a bottle of oil has to be essential oil in order for it to go on a store shelf and be labeled essential oils. The other 95% could be chemical compounds or other adulterated fillers. Now, if you're looking to use these oils for therapeutic reasons, you want the purest oils possible. This is hugely important. In my opinion, it's a really scary thing that we don't have regulation of essential oils these days. So Young Living decided to rise above that and create their own strict guidelines to ensure purity. That's called their Seed to Seal commitment. They abide by very strict guidelines to fulfill their promise to send only the best products to your home. The Seed to Seal guarantee means that plant material that is grown on corporately owned farms or carefully vetted partner farms are the only way that Young Living will grow their plants that they use for their oils. In fact, these farms are available for any member to visit. They practice sustainable farming practices, and they use great care to preserve and protect our natural resources. I'd love to show you some slides about my experience with these products. I'm going to try to do that on my computer right now. So just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to share my screen. So truthfully, this is the fourth time that I have attempted to record this presentation. You'd think I would be a pro by now, but I'm still working on it. So this is the Mona, Utah farm. It's the original Young Living farm where they started to grow lavender. It's in the foothills of the mountains there in Utah. Gary Young was a big fan of motorcycles, so every year they have a big motorcycle rally there. And the amazing thing about these farms are that if you're a member of Young Living, you can go to any of these farms. So this is me. I was kind of hanging out there in the lavender fields before I took a tour of the distillery. Lots of pictures there. Okay, I want to go back to that one. That is the gas chromatography lab. And so we talked about how Gary Young was the pioneer in research for essential oils. And actually what he did was he studied every single individual plant and what the constituents were of that plant that made it unique and powerful. And the plants themselves actually have a energy. If you've worn a Fitbit or done any sort of biometric screening, you know that there are parts of our body that have energy, and the plants have energy. And what we found is that the plants match the energy of those parts of our body. And so they can be very therapeutic. If a part of your body is low in energy, the oil can supplement that. That's why we say that they actually act as supplements. So these devices measure those constituents that provide the benefits to our bodies. And Gary was very careful about this. So if he harvested a crop and it did not fulfill the requirements that he was looking for, he did not sell that crop. He was meticulous in what he did. This is at the lab, where they also do have the lab on the farm. So everything is done by Young Living on site. They put the seeds in the soil, they cultivate the crops, they harvest them, they research them, they distill them. This is the distillery. You can see where the oils are coming to the top of this vat, and the bottom is actually the floral water. So a lot of times what you'll find in oils in the grocery store is not 100% oil, but instead it will be this floral water. Now the floral water can have a lot of benefits. In fact, at the Ecuador Young Living farm, they were distilling oils and they were putting the floral water into a big vat behind the distillery. And what they found was that people in the community had heard about the floral waters, and they were coming and they were sitting in the floral waters and they were finding huge health benefits. So word got around that that was available to people, and Young Living decided to create a naturopathic spa in Ecuador next to the farm, which provides jobs to the community, and it brings people from all over the world in to take advantage of the therapeutic values of the floral water. But you can see in this picture how it's being carefully distilled to separate the oil from the water. In our bottles, it's 100% oil. So they do not use the floral water in our bottles. Our essential oil bottles are 100% oil. And that's in the lab where they're testing everything. Another picture of the farm, and this pile was actually cedar wood that had been harvested. So you can imagine that the smell was pretty amazing. These are some of the larger distilleries. They actually start by putting the harvest in the top. See, they're steaming. So they'll take this harvested product, they'll let it dry out a little bit, and then they'll put it in the top of those big distillers. And once it starts to dissolve, to separate, is when it becomes transferred to those smaller distillers that I showed you previously. Again, this was actually lavender here. This was 2 years ago when I visited, and I was super looking forward to going back again this year, but with the COVID-19, they did have to cancel that trip, but I am really hoping I can get back there again soon. So there I am with the distillers. But that's just to show you that Young Living really is invested in every stage of their growing process. And as members, we get to be part of that also. So just a beautiful, beautiful testimony to sustainability and Gary Young, he was a farmer at heart and was able to create an amazing company with his love of plants and the land. So I'm gonna go back to me now, and I'm gonna switch to my next screen. Okay, but as we get outdoors, of course, sometimes bugs can really ruin our gardening plans. You know, we talked a little bit about seed to seal, what are essential oils. We're going to focus now on how we can use them around our house and in our garden this summer. So this is a great outdoor spray that you can use on your plants. You know, you could use insecticides or sprays made from harsh chemicals, but certainly there's a cost to you and the environment. And those can lead to bioaccumulation of toxins in our body and even on our plants. And toxins are linked to chronic illness and disease. So we want to avoid that at all costs. Well, fortunately, Young Living has released an insect repellent that's been tested to repel mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas using only 100% naturally derived plant-based ingredients. Pure sesame oil and a carefully select blend of essential oils traditionally used for their bug repellent properties come together to make up all 99% of the active ingredients in this formula. And what's the other 1%? It's vitamin E. So that means it's good for your skin, and you can use it on your children without having to worry about the synthetic chemicals traditionally used in repellents. It's also a non-sticky formula. And I just want to, this is the bottle that it comes in, but I want to give you a hack to make it more cost effective. I actually get these roller balls from Amazon. It's a 10 milliliter roller ball. And you can see here at the top, it's got the roller. And I filled this up with the insect repellent. I got this last year and it's still at least half full. And then I just apply it in stripes. It's a little hard for you to see since I got my Fitbit on, but I'm just gonna apply it in stripes. I would do it all the way up my arms and legs, wherever my skin is exposed, and then I'll rub it in. And that stretches it much farther than if you were just to rub it on out of the bottle, although you're welcome to do that too. I'd also recommend that you put it on about 20 minutes before going out in the sun, or out in the buggy areas, because it does need some time to absorb. But that's a great option if you're looking for a DEET-free yet effective insect repellent. It has a very pleasant citrusy aroma. However, if you're more of a DIY person, this outdoor spray can be used for you or for your plants. One thing though is if you are going to use it, be very cautious to use it on your plants in the evening, because it does contain lemon, which is photosensitive. And for yourself, I would avoid using the lemon if you're going to make this for yourself, so that you don't risk being sunburned. Citrus oils can cause our skin to burn if we use them and go out in the sun. But this is a great one that contains witch hazel, distilled water, 20 drops of thieves. Thieves is one of Young Living's signature essential oil blends. And the story of thieves is that in the 15th century, grave robbers were stealing and not getting sick. This was a time of lots of death and disease, and these people were not getting sick. And when the authorities caught them, they said, "We will give you a reduced sentence if you tell us what you're doing to avoid getting sick." And they gave them this blend of spices. And when Gary Young discovered it in his research around the globe to find powerful blends, he gave it the name Thieves. So what Thieves actually contains is cinnamon bark. We know cinnamon bark is hugely supportive for our digestion. And when we have a strong digestive system, our immune system will benefit from that. It contains clove, which is a powerful oil. I like to say nothing can live in clove. That's an oil I use in the morning and at night. I put it on the bottom of my feet along the spinal vitaflex on the inside of my foot. And that just helps to ensure that anything that might be hazardous to my health, that I might have picked up as I go about my daily life, those things that we're trying to avoid right now, I have some protection in my immune system for that. We also have a Thieves Vitality Oil, which is delicious in baking. So those are some of the main constituents of Thieves. This outdoor spray also contains lemon, rosemary, and citronella. Those are all powerful oils for summer. And citronella is actually a freebie this month for anyone who is on our Essential Rewards program at the 100 PV level. If you are not currently a member and would like to get a kit, you can actually get that free citronella this month on Essential Rewards. So great. It's a great oil to have on hand this summer. If you haven't heard about some of the things citronella can be used for, great for those insects that you don't really like. I'm actually diffusing citronella right now on my back porch. This is my diffuser, and it runs for 9 hours, and it has 9 different light settings. And I've got it out here on my porch to help me with some of those pesky bugs. The other thing that sometimes invades our garden is pets, and that could be dogs, it could be cats. Now, my dog doesn't mind the plants so much, but he does like to dig and chase bunnies and groundhogs. But as much as we love them, let's face it, they can get into the garden and they can make quite a mess. So a simple and safe way to encourage them to stay out is by using scents that they don't like. So dogs don't like the smell of black pepper, and cats dislike the smell of rosemary. Therefore, they'll stay away from those areas. And if you didn't know already, we actually have essential oils in those fragrances. So this is a great Pets Be Gone tip. You can actually put 5 to 10 drops of essential oil in a shallow pan of warm water. Whisk the oil until it's spread throughout the water, and then dip some old washcloths or scraps of clothing, or I like to use old pantyhose that I've torn into strips. Soak them in water for about 30 minutes till they absorb those oils. Dry them out, and then you can tie them around stakes in your yards, or you can tie them along trellises, and that will make sure your beloved pets will not ruin your garden. In addition, we have to think about weeds in the garden. I don't know about you, but my least favorite thing to do is weed the garden. I don't mind watering the garden. I don't mind planting the garden, but I get tired of the constant weeding. We can waste so many hours on weeds, and some are short enough. So let's not spend unnecessary time dealing with weed overgrowth. If you're trying to get rid of unwanted plant growth without harmful chemicals, which, as we said, can be linked to so many overall health issues, there are some safe alternatives. Weeds hate cinnamon, so try your hand at this DIY. Add 25 to 50 drops of cinnamon bark to a 4-ounce glass spray bottle. Top it off with distilled water. Then shake it and spray it at those weeds. Douse the roots and the leaves as necessary. We don't want those weeds growing on our beloved plants. And we can also put this spray on our plants. It's our Plant Love Spray. It's 10 drops of tea tree, peppermint, and citronella combined in a 4-ounce spray bottle. So this is my spray bottle here. Again, Amazon. It's a 4-ounce spray bottle. I can use this for all sorts of stuff. The reason we recommend glass is because essential oils do not like synthetic substances. So they will eat away at plastic eventually. So we always recommend, if you're going to use an essential oil in your water or in a beverage or in a bottle for spraying, that you use glass. Unless it's highly diluted, you're going to want to use a glass spray bottle. And this particular Plant Love spray was something that we gave away a couple months ago. I love to do a class in the fall called our terrarium diffuser class. So this was what people made at our terrarium diffuser class. Like, how cute is that? And they got to walk away with our Plant Love spray. This one is actually, I put a dropper top on this because I didn't want to get the leaves of my succulent plant wet. Succulent leaves can rot when they get wet. So I put it in a dropper, and I can apply this to my plant, and it keeps the bugs off of it, which is so nice. But this is just a cute class that we do in a lot of workplaces or schools. They are restricted as far as diffusing, and yet it's so beneficial to get those oils in the air during your day. And so what we do is we have a class, and it actually benefits our local historical society. So they open up early, and you can come with your kids and take a tour. Super fun way to support our community. And then we put these lava rocks in here. So everybody makes their diffuser. We put some lava rocks in there, and then everybody gets to add some oils to that. And then you can replenish that oil throughout the day, even when you can't diffuse. This is a great thing to keep on your desk at work. Super fun. So watch our mailing list for an invitation to that class as we get into the fall. And now we want to talk a little bit about companion plants. So if you've been around the garden scene a while, you've heard of companion planting. And if you haven't heard, then let me enlighten you. Some plants play well together and others do not. This is because every plant has certain nutrients that it uses from the soil for growth and for fruit production. Also, plants excrete certain byproducts back into the soil that can either help or hinder our harvest. So if we grow two types of plants next to each other that both rely strongly on nitrogen for growth, they'll compete and overuse the nitrogen in the soil, and they'll starve each other out. For example, corn and tomatoes are an example of two plants that don't play nice together. Conversely, if you plant two types of plants next to each other that use different nutrients, they will work together to promote each other's growth. And a good example of this is tomatoes and carrots. They work together in the soil. Therefore, plant them next to each other, and it will result in a more bountiful harvest. So what does this have to do with essential oils? Well, essential oils are made from plants. So consider using an essential oil instead of a companion plant in your garden. For example, if you're looking to plant lavender next to green beans, grab your lavender and essential oil instead. You can create a companion spray to use on the soil and leaves of the plant using a guide like this. Now, it's a little hard to see this slide, but if you have checked your email, if you registered for this class ahead of time, you received my free DIY garden planning journal. And all of these recipes are going to be in the back of that journal. So you have a copy for yourself. You can print that out, or you can keep it on your computer, or you're welcome to take a screenshot of this to keep on your phone. So basically you would create a companion spray by adding 10 to 15 drops of the corresponding essential oil to a 4-ounce glass spray bottle. Top it with water, shake well before use, super easy. I'm excited to try this companion spray on my tomatoes. I'm growing 2 tomato plants, and I'm gonna try a companion spray made with basil essential oil on one and not on the other, and I'm gonna see if it makes a difference. So if you're curious to find out how that works, follow me on my Facebook page at the Oils Academy, and I'll give you some updates on how my garden is growing. And did you know that some plants actually self-pollinate? So fruits like peppers can stand alone and produce fruit, but not every plant does that. Lots of them need the help of cross-pollination between male and female plants. Guess who helps with that? Pollinators. Bees and butterflies are some of the friendliest insects you can get into your garden. And without them, we'll have measly harvests and we'll be disappointed that all our work didn't result in the delicious produce we were hoping for. Pollinators are attracted to the smell of flowers, and luckily some of our wonderful essential oils are distilled from flowers. Isn't that convenient? So you can create a spray using essential oils to spritz on the flowering buds of your garden to encourage pollinators to come in and get the job done. You can add 6 to 8 drops of lavender and orange essential oil to a 4-ounce glass spray bottle, top it with distilled water, and spray until you party with the pollinators. It smells amazing too. It's the most wonderful time when you finally get to harvest your crops, right? All our hard work and patience seems like it's paid off. We get to pluck delicious fresh food from the earth, and we get to eat to our heart's content. If you're like me, sometimes I find that fresh produce goes bad before I can even eat it though. And that's because bacteria will rest on our fruit, and without the support of a plant, the fruits and vegetables break down and can grow nasty spots on them. I'm even more concerned now when I go to the grocery store about how I wash my fruits and vegetables when I get them home. Keeping our fruits and vegetables clean can really help my family from ingesting the things that those foods have tagging along. So Young Living actually has an exclusive Thieves fruit and veggie soak and a spray. And you can use that for this very reason. Soaking the food loosens the dirt and other stuff and rinses it down the drain. So I used to think that washing with water was enough to keep my fruits and vegetables clean. I don't know why I thought that. It certainly isn't enough to keep my hands clean. So I got one of the Thieves fruit and veggie soaks free with my monthly Essential Rewards order. And I was a little skeptical that it was really necessary, but with everything going on in the world with COVID-19, I was looking for something a little more than what I was doing previously to make me feel confident about the cleanliness of my fruits and vegetables. Can I tell you that when I wash my produce in this product, they are crisper, they stay fresh longer, and they are so much tastier. And I think a big reason for that is because this product contains digize. Digize is an essential oil that comes in our premium starter kit. It is amazing for digestive support. So anytime you have any digestive issues, digize is the place you want to go. But Gary Young actually did some research with digize. And one of the standards that Young Living lives by with their seed to seal quality commitment is that they will not grow crops on land that has ever had fertilizers, pesticides, or herbicides on it. And it's getting harder and harder to find land like that. So he wanted to see if there was a way to repair the soil naturally. So he took a field, sprayed it with digize, and measured the results. And laboratory tests confirmed that this field was 100% free of Roundup at the end of that study. Now, Roundup is a big herbicide that we see a lot of in commercial farming. And so the fact that we have a product that can reform the soil so that we have a healthier crop is pretty amazing. So this is a study that was done several years ago. Digize is one of the oils in our Thieves fruit and veggie soak. So I'm confident that it is getting my products as clean can be. If you don't have The Thieves Fruit and Veggie Soak, you can use the DiGize, and this is a product that has come in and out of stock. So it is in stock now. If you purchase your starter kit today, go ahead and add a bottle of Thieves Fruit and Veggie Soak, and you will not be sorry. And have you ever noticed that sometimes when fruits sit on the counter for too long, we end up with those magically winged creatures in our kitchen? This is a simple don't bother me diffuser recipe that will help keep you sane using essential oils. It's basil, peppermint, lavender, clove, and eucalyptus radiata. It's a perfect diffuser recipe for keeping your kitchen free of those winged creatures. I know we've talked about a lot of different DIYs right now. I'm curious which ones you're looking forward to trying. And we could talk about our Vitality line forever. I love the fact that we can ingest our oils and we can use them for cooking. In order to can 30 quarts of spaghetti sauce, you would need a lot of oregano, lots. And buying dried oregano can add up very fast in order to achieve the flavor you want in your recipes. But remember how we talked about essential oils are just concentrated liquid forms of the plant? Well, you can believe that means a huge flavor punch for each drop you use. For a large pot of spaghetti sauce, you can use only 2 to 3 drops of oregano vitality essential oil as opposed to much larger amounts of dried oregano. That's it. It goes so far and is such a rich, pure flavor. My favorite thing is that essential oils never expire. That helps me save money while using a high quality ingredient. So that's a mom win for me. Young Living has an entire line of vitality oils, not just oregano. There's a huge selection of herbs, spices, and even citruses. Plus, they're all non-GMO certified. So that's huge. And you know we love our plants when we're willing to break our backs, scrape our fingers, and endure biting bugs in order to give them the best chance they've got. Young Living knows you're just important as your precious plants and has a whole host of products to help you care for yourself too. Stiffness can be a thing of the past using Deep Relief Roll-On or Panaway or Cool Azul Pain Cream or Kunzia. Those are some of my favorites. Those products are actually 20% off this month in some of our Father's Day packages. So grab some for that dad in your life now. You can roll on the oil, drop those oils on the area that's given you grief, and use as needed. I love this idea for the soothing stick. The peppermint, like I said, is my go-to oil. We use that for digestion, for sore muscles, for muscular tension on my head at the end of the day. So many excellent uses for peppermint. And lavender is an oil no gardener should be without. It can help cleanse and soothe minor skin irritations, so keep it on hand. It can also be soothing to the skin, especially after a day in the sun. We have some amazing lavender products, and if you're ever curious about how to use your products that you have on hand, I would suggest resources like Pinterest or even this awesome Pocket Desk reference, which is a welcome gift for everyone who joins my organization. You'll get tons of ideas on how to use those oils so they don't just end up taking up space on your shelves. Okay, so I know you're on the edge of your seat and want to know how to get this stuff in your home ASAP. So I'm going to tell you, if you are not already a member, the perfect way to get started is with one of our starter kits. The one I got started with was the premium starter kit with essential oils. It comes with the majority of the oils we talked about in this class, so you'll be able to use them in your garden right away. You get 12 of the most popular oils, a gorgeous diffuser, the same one I just showed you. You'll also get the Thieves spray and a waterless hand sanitizer. Plus, you'll get samples of our Ningxia Red beverage, which is one of my favorite energy drinks. You also get a wholesale membership to Young Living. That means anything you buy from Young Living is 24% off for life. And you get membership in my organization, where we have a group, a Facebook group to help support and teach you how to use these products. You'll get access to my members vault with more classes like this and materials. And you'll have the support of a community of like-minded people to help you move forward. When you get started, you're also going to want to think about essential rewards. Essential rewards is the way to go with getting these products into your home at the best price. So when you become an Essential Rewards member with the purchase of your premium starter kit, this month you'll get a free bottle of citronella. Now that changes every month. Right now we're in the month of June. In July, there will be a new product to start you on your Essential Rewards journey. You'll also get discounted shipping, and you'll earn points back on all your orders. Plus, we get freebies. Like I said, that Thieves Fruit and Veggie Soak was a freebie that I got for ordering the stuff that I was going to use around my house every month anyway. So starting at 100 PV a month, you'll get some freebies, sometimes as much as 90% back in free products. So Essential Rewards is the most cost-effective way to start with Young Living, and you can start with 50 PV a month. So I just want to thank you today for joining me. This was a great opportunity for me to share some of the things I love about Young Living, and I hope it was a way for you to learn more about how to implement sustainable natural ways to care for plants around your house. If you are interested in getting some more information about my group and what I do to support people who are looking for natural ways to help their family, if you're looking to become part of my wellness community, please check me out on the web at www.doppeldee.com. That's DOPPLEDEE.com. Above everything else, I want to give you a very heartfelt thank you for joining me in this class today. Gardening is very near and dear to my heart, and sharing ways to improve the gardening experience for others is an honor and a privilege. I deeply and passionately believe that we all deserve better health and wellness, and that applies to everything we do. I hope you were blessed by this class and that you learned something new. And remember, even when everything else seems in flux, the flowers just keep blooming.